go pretty fast. I think we're, yeah.
Deb, happy Friday, TGIF. How are ya?
I am great. I'm so excited. Did you know that this is National Wine Drinking Day?
I know you told me. I know it's too bad. I guess it's 12 o'clock. We could have had
Yeah,
some.
I guess, right?
So, yeah, I mean, that's exciting to know. I'm going to have a glass of wine and cheer to you, even though you're in a different household.
There you go.
Well, we're so happy today, and it's just amazing. We all started off this year, everybody's got goals and they have New Year's resolutions. And usually by February, you get kind of tired and you kind of slack off a little bit. And it's true to me, I'm trying to get some weight loss because I want to have these knee replacements. But so Debbie came up with this great idea to talk about ways to kickstart your happy. And it just makes you get rejuvenated and want to start and just run with what you wanted to do. So with that, Debbie, I'm going to have you start off and just talk a little bit about it. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, Laura. Sounds good. And you know what? It's so true. You nailed it. It's February. People are kind of getting tired of being inside. We realized we had a taste of being able to get out more and do more things because things are lightening up. But then here we are with these snowstorms in the Chicagoland area. Right. Depending on where you're located, you may be doing better than we are, but we're kind of stuck. And it's really true about sometimes like people have seasonal depression, people have seasonal stress, people have stress all the time. But, one of the things that we've talked a lot about throughout a lot of the times we're talking is about how, like, honestly, you could see the glass half full or half empty, right? And I think we need to see it half full. And I think we need to actually take control of our happy. Okay. And so, defining that, I mean, some of us to find joy in a certain coffee, maybe we're like, oh my God, I can't wait to have my afternoon coffee, which is me. Okay. And sometimes I splurge and get like some, something in it or whatever, but seriously, or hug a loved one. I mean, hugging has always been Lori and me. We are big huggers, right? And when things were kind of like where you couldn't hug, that was really hard. I mean, it really was. I didn't like it at all, but maybe your happy is to get in, watch a crazy TikTok too. There's some really funny ones out there. And Lori and I share a lot of stories about teachers because we both have kids that are teachers. But there's this one guy out there that is hilarious. And if you want to know who he is, we can send it to you. But true happiness is like an inside job. You have to practice, okay? Because it's all about what you portray. If you're not smiling and your energy isn't there and you're not being happy, and you're really kind of sulking and stuff, your day is not going to necessarily go as good as it could have. Okay. And so you got to define your happy, you got to figure out what is your happy. Okay. And you must claim it. Okay. So we have some stuff that we're going to post today and put up, and you'll understand when we get to the end of this, but there's some questionnaires too. And I think we should post that as well. But what does happiness mean to you? Okay. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what happiness means to me. Okay. Having some balance. Okay. Making sure that I can kind of keep things balanced, not feeling always exactly in control, because I'm not really the one that's in control. Okay. I know who is in control of my life. Okay. But I feel like when things are kind of going kind of okay, I feel more joyful. Okay. But when I come into a bump in the road, it's going to be how I react to that, to see if I can maintain and keep my happy. And that is a challenge, you guys. It can be a challenge. And so things that I try to bring myself back to happy is to put some music on, put some fun music on, put something that I can kind of like boost my energy. And maybe it might be a caffeinated drink. I'm not going to lie. Okay. If I'm down in the slump a little bit, I may need that, or I may need a piece of chocolate. Okay. So like, I'm being really transparent here. But with that, Laura, I'm going to send it to you and see what does happiness mean to you?
Oh, that is just, a lot of the same things as you. Happiness to me is being able to not have the pain that I go through. And, one of the things that I'm starting now is we started going to the health club. And my happiness is being in the pool, because in the pool, I do not feel any pain. So physically is a huge thing for me, and emotionally is also, I mean, I just want my kids to be happy. I want my family to be together. And, and I want this world for people to get along with each other.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm.
always been a big thing for me. I know people disagree on things, but just everybody to accept one another and love one another. And that's exactly what I feel. As far as finances, I'm not worried about that kind of thing. But, and I don't work anymore. But the main thing is that I am here. My happiness is that I am here to help people that have a lot of the same issues as me and help them go through recovery or anything that they're going through, just to be a support for them. And this platform, this is my happiness. This is what I look forward to all week. So with that, there's always challenges. There's a lot of challenges. And,
Hmm.
we need to start our day and write a note, write a note, we talked about that, getting a notebook or something and write some things down that you want to start off the day. You could say like, kind of like do like a picture in your head, I want my day to look like this. And of course, you have to understand that it always doesn't always go away the way I can't talk this morning that you wanted to go. But at least if you have it in your head, when things do come as a challenge, you're able to accept it a lot better. What is ideal? What my ideal self is? What do I want myself to be? Do I want myself to be happy? Do I want to just go out and smile to everybody? Do I want to be creative today? What do I want to be today? Um, what did I need to do more or less to achieve what I need to do? Do I need to rest a little bit more? Do I need to do a little bit more? Just kind of really take inventory of what you are. Just kind of like, for an example, a restaurant. Before they can open up their doors to people that come in the restaurant, they need to take inventory of what they have and what they're going to serve. So that's basically what you have to do within yourself, is take inventory, saying, okay, I'm not feeling well, so I can't do this. I want to go visit my grandkids. Is it feasible? All kinds of stuff like that. Take inventory of what I want to wear for the day. Take inventory of how I'm feeling for the day, because that's really important, and deal with that before you go out in the world. Debbie, do you have anything to add on to that?
Oh my gosh, I love it. And you know what? I love how you said it about a restaurant. They
Yeah.
have to take inventory. Well, we got to do the same thing. We have to take inventory. What is really not making you unhappy?
Yeah.
Is it the overcommitting that maybe you're doing, which I feel is a definite for me. When I'm overcommitting, then I feel like everything's kind of caving in on me. And then you feel like you're the hamster on the wheel and you're going like this. And then you can't be happy because you're stressed out. And then if somebody asks you something, you're not going to respond right. You're going to be crabby. I mean, it's just kind of like goes all together. What are some of your self-sabotaging patterns, which could be the overcommitting, that you would like to release this year? Maybe it's the, getting healthy and eating properly, losing weight, doing whatever, setting a goal in that respect. Or maybe it's, like I said, the overcommitting, or maybe it's a self-sabotaging, maybe it's a relationship that you need to sever, or maybe you need some better, some people that you need to surround you that are like you, that you can kind of socialize with, getting out and doing a few things. It doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot of money. It could be just, whatever, but whatever you could do to jumpstart yourself. What other qualities do I admire in others? You know what? I love Lori, when her bright smile and how she is to everybody, and how contagious her laugh is, and how she's just, that kind of person. I mean, she'll views things the same way I do. Let's look at the glass half full, not half empty. So if you find people like that, those are the people that you should associate with. It goes hand in hand what I just said a second ago. If you've got some relationships that aren't working out so good, or maybe you need to be a better influence to those other people and try to make them be happy. I mean, it's hard. There's a lot of people going through a lot of stress right now, you guys. There is so much negative out there. Lori talked about the world. I pray for world peace every day, world peace, because you know what? We need that. Okay. And we need to teach our children and our grandchildren and our family and everything how important that is, because what would we be without the support systems of other people, you know what I mean? So anyways, know your needs. I'm going to go on to that one and say, be self-aware of like identifying that. And we're going to actually post 3 pages. I'm going to make sure I do that today, and you can know your needs and you can fill in the blanks. Okay. So do a little accountability drill on yourself. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill it out myself. And maybe this is something that you might have, like somebody like Lori and I are such good friends, but we're also bounce things off of each other, and we're honest with each other. We'll tell each other. So see if you can find a mentor person or friend that you can bounce stuff off of and ask them. We'll even say like things that we feel that are making us sad and unhappy within our families and say, what do you think? How would you handle this? Like, what would you do if you were in this situation? So these are things that I think that can help us physically, emotionally, and everything else. Laura, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Deb, and this is fantastic what you found. I just love the thing about filling out that questionnaire and all the other things. It's just amazing. We're going to talk now about making a vision board. We've talked about that many times. Utilize your words, your feelings, put pictures on there of what you want, smiles, cut out smiles, something to help you kind of rewire your brain to think more positive, and I don't know if that's the word, more positive, but it's just really important. And you put the vision board up and you put all kinds of stuff on there and you look at it and you smile. Put some pictures of when you were the happiest on there. I mean, just put a vision board of children, your grandchildren, or if you don't have grandchildren, your children or your friends' children or grandchildren. Just, fun times, summer, cut out pictures of people camping and all that kind of stuff. Do a vision board of what you want, except of your own body. That's what I really want to start off first with. Acceptance of my own body and acceptance of who I am. And with that, Deb, you have anything to add on to that?
Absolutely. I want to kick back for 1 second. The vision board, I think, should be real visual around the house too, so other people can see it. Right. But also to put yourself a vision of like things that you are maybe setting a goal for, and it could be words. And we're gonna get in a couple of seconds here when we get to the last part of what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna give you some examples that you can use, so you can kind of use these, and you can you could actually grab them and print them. Body acceptance. It's kind of crazy. I'm doing this workout that I do on a Peloton, and the instructor was talking about how, to embrace your own body. Okay. Your healthy body, your fit body. Not everybody's going to be a size 2, and not everybody is going to be, like you were when you were a teenager or in high school. Okay. So we have to embrace and accept our God-given body and take care of it. But we might not be the most perfect in every way, but God created us to be perfect in our own ways and stuff like that. But we have to accept that and also strive for the best we can do and what we can, so. But you gotta, most people have anxiety about their body image. No, they are the person. We're looking at the person, it's our heart and all that. So try to cut yourself some slack, everybody, in that respect. Yes, if you've got a goal you want to work at that goal and do whatever. And believe me, it's good to be fit because that's healthy for your heart. And we've talked about fitness and we've talked about all that kind of stuff. So, but put that up on your vision board, what you're striving for. It can even be what you're striving for in walking, biking, swimming, like Lori's doing, getting in the pool, all that. That's phenomenal. So with that, Laura, I'm going to turn it back to you.
What I love this part because it is true. I know, we're never happy with who we are, no matter what size we are. Mm-hmm. But, we have to embrace who we are. Okay, say you have a weight issue. I'm just going to use that for example. And so you say, well, I'm not going to buy those clothes until I lose weight or whatever. What the heck? Buy the clothes, dress up nice, celebrate who you are. set up challenges for yourself to lose weight, but take care of yourself and make yourself pretty, no matter what size you are.
Mhm.
You know what? Because you
Mhm.
know what? We always look back and say, oh, I used to have this, or I want to look like this. And then we walk around with rags, you know? So I think just embracing who you are
Right.
and just acceptance. And it, you know what? It really will make you feel so much better. And you know what? It'll make you want to get to the goal you want to get to, you know,
Mhm.
but don't make yourself feel bad, you know, celebrate who you are now, the person that you are. And, you know, with that, we're going to talk about, well, with that, let me just say a couple of other things. Listen, connect, and communicate with your body's needs, you know. For example, you need rest, get the rest, you need to eat. Sometimes we eat just because we want to eat. Are we really hungry? You know, take that in consideration. Okay, find your joyful movement. Okay, what's your physical activity you could do and boost your brain? You know, they say when you exercise, you what build serotonin in your body, and it just helps you. And Debbie, well, you know, she's my queen of exercising and taking care of herself. I do it sporadically and have to be better with it, but I know just going to the pool is just amazing for me. I come home and I just feel like I can conquer the world. And also with my boyfriend Gary, he started too. He hasn't done that in years, and he's just doing great with it. He loves it. And I
Mhm.
don't want to go home. So with that, Debbie, you want to talk a little bit about find your joyful movement?
Yes, I just want to bring us a blast from the past. I just
Yeah.
want to tell you guys a funny story sideline here that Sunday evenings every during high school we used to go to the Addison Galaxy Bowl disco, and we wouldn't miss and we would
Right.
never miss one. I remember our friend Janet, she left her birthday party with her family because it was their family celebration, and we're going driving over snow, shine. I mean, it did not matter. We would make it there, and we would dance our little hearts out, and we would just laugh. And when I think about a song, I think of one of us. It could be a Donna Summer song, it could be any song. But I think that dancing, if you're not into, and there's a lot of people that don't want to exercise, like as far as like exercise, they like, I don't want to get on a bicycle, I don't want to get on a treadmill, I don't want to do, then dance your heart out with an Alexa or whatever you got, and do some family stuff and have fun. Do something that makes you have fun. And you know what's really crazy is that on a lot of the networks of TV, you could just on your phone or on your computer, you can find little mini things that you can do. And so one I just did, and I'm going to tell you that, boy, am I uncoordinated. I thought I was more coordinated. I did a yoga class, not only did a beginner's one, and I could not move the way that that person moved.
Oh,
Okay. But
really?
I know that I can work my way into that. But the reason I chose yoga is because the mind, the spirit, and all just kind of like it's calming and it's stretching and it's helping you and stuff. But another thing that you could do to be happy is get outside if the weather allows you to, and you have a place that you can walk safely and not on the ice, and walk with some people and say, we're going to go walk and have fun. And be goofy, sing a song, do whatever, but just go and walk, you know, or if you have a dog, get that dog out and walk that dog. And that's another good one. But joyful movement is going to help you be more energized and get out there and do it, you know? So anyways, with that, I'm just going to move on for a second and say, practice a wake up routine and bedtime routine. You guys, routines will help your overall happy. Okay. If you're not a wake up routine, I'll just give you an example for me. Okay. If I happen to help my daughter get my grandson off to school, I make his lunch, get everything done. But I set myself up at night, and I got my routine for my morning routine already going on. I got my coffee mug sitting here with the, I got everything all ready so that when I come down, if I run a little late or something, I got that going. On the days that I don't do that, so it doesn't matter what routine we're talking about, your morning, your evening, whatever. When I don't have my routine in check, I'm stressed then. So then what does that lead to? I'm feeling behind the eight ball a little bit. And then we may not make it where we're going on time or whatever's happening. And it's just not as happy as if it's done smoother. So I'm just going to encourage you guys and challenge you by setting up your you to have a normalized routine of wake up time slash, and then a routine in the evening and, that, because I think it just can make things a lot happier. What do you think, Laura?
Oh, I think it's a great idea. And also it's a great example for your kids and your family members.
Hmm.
For some of us like me that, I don't work because of my disability, and Gary just retired, getting used to just getting up when you should be getting up and not sleeping all day and then not staying up all night. You really need to have a routine because you're never going to get anything done, and
Right.
you're going to feel frustrated and feel like you're chasing to get things done. So I think it's very important for us to do that. Sorry.
That's okay.
Um, with that, we're going to talk about give yourself a break. Do you know it's okay to give yourself a break sometimes?
Yeah.
Say you fall off the wagon with eating or anything, don't exercise for a day. Give yourself a break. Don't get upset about it. Just continue to do it when the next day comes or right there and then.
Hmm.
It's okay. We're human beings and we need that break, and it's okay. And, it's practice some somatic, is that how you say it? Release and mind body exercises that can help you release stress head to toe. And these are some examples here. Release the tightness in your jaw. Okay. Shake out your hands, roll your wrists. All right. Open mouth and exhale. Okay. We talked about the breathing, how the breathing really helps you and stuff like that. So when you need a break and stuff, and this is too overwhelming for you, do this kind of stuff. Debbie, you have anything else to add to that?
Absolutely. I was going to say that. Remember, we also talked about, and you guys, if we're talking about something that we have had in the past, you can look it up. Okay. All of this stuff is for the health and wellness of you. And most of the stuff is for the health and wellness of you in our YouTube. But there was also this thing where they did the tapping, and Lori actually was doing the tapping. And I was like, and I'm telling you, it is the weirdest thing. But if you need that little bit of break to get yourself kind of refocused, walk away from a situation that maybe isn't going so good and bring yourself to another location. And I call it a timeout, man. I need a me timeout, and I need that me timeout if that's what I need for a break, or maybe I just need to have that coffee break, because I do look forward to my coffee in the afternoon. It's so weird. I totally do. And it's kind of my thing. And sometimes I'll even grab my coffee, go pick up my grandson, and I call Lori and we talk about stuff, or that's kind of my break or whatever. So I think I love this release situation, because, and we're going to put this up on the, I'm going to do it as soon as we're done with this and we do our copying and putting it on YouTube and stuff. And here's what we've been talking about already: sparking someone else's happiness.
Yes.
I swear that there's times that we're put in a situation for a reason, and happiness is contagious. And maybe somebody's having a down day and you think about them and you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder how so-and-so's doing. Maybe I should give them a call. Okay. Maybe you need to call that person for a reason. Maybe they're having a bad day and they need you to lift them up. And if that's what you're meant to do, then you should do it. Okay. So anyways, I want to just, encourage you to, do an act of kindness too. If you're in that Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, I know it can get expensive, but buy the coffee behind you. But my trick is I always ask, what did they order? Because I'll be the person, I've said this before, I'll be the person that, oh my God, it's going to be. But try to do, I was at the store the other day and I found, okay, I'm an Aldi shopper, but they had these cards and it says thank you on it. But they have all kinds of different cards there for a really nominal small price. Have some extra ones on hand. And when you need to, when you think of something, send them a card, because you're just thinking about them. Let's bring joy. Let's do what we should do. Let's work on our happiness, but let's work on spreading it, because this is how people, people need it. Even like Lori, you would think, oh, Lori and I, we have our acts together. We're doing
Yeah.
this. No, we're right here. You know, we're crazy chicks trying to pick a subject that we need to improve on and that
Right.
we want to share. So I hope that helps. And Laura, I know you. What do you have? I know you've got good stuff on this.
You know what? The thing about somebody else's happiness, you know what? Maybe we should start off like having a day, like say, okay, on Wednesdays, I'm going to try to do this, or on Fridays. I mean, as far as I mean, we need to be happy with everybody
Right.
anyway, but doing that special thing like sending out a card or anything like that, maybe you could kind of set that up when you're doing kind of what you want to do for the day. Because I think if you don't set the time aside for it, you'll never do it. What do you
Hmm.
think about that, Deb?
I
Is that,
think it's great.
yeah,
I think it's
I
great.
do. So, maybe Fridays or something. I don't know. All right. And the last thing is speak it into existence. Okay.
Hmm.
Get a bracelet engraved with it on there. I'm beautiful. All kinds of stuff. It could say stuff like, I believe I could do this. I have things, I've had them on in my house, and like a lot of the doorways in my condo here, talking about I could do all things through Christ has given me the strength. I have them all over the place because I
Hmm.
need that affirmation all the time. And you could put a picture of, I have also a picture of myself when I thought I was the cutest. I think I was about 20 then. And I have that there, and I look at it and I think, oh, it just makes me smile. But have that kind of stuff on there, get something engraved, or like I said, a piece of paper, put it in your car on post-it notes. The mirror that you look open down to look at yourself, put something in
Hmm.
there. Some of us older people could kind of laugh and say, smile, you're on candid camera.
Yeah, yeah, right.
On a note. With that, I'm gonna let you finish that off.
Oh gosh, I'll tell you what. There's like on this last page. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
as
Oh
soon as we're
yeah.
done, I'm gonna actually go and put this so that you guys can actually tap it. I'm sure you could copy it and paste it to a Word doc or something like that. But it has a lot of these things. Like I practice healthy coping skills. I value nurturing fun, reliable relationships. I'm capable and courageous. I mean, when you speak things into existence,
Right.
you can make these things happen. I mean, here's another one. I'm willing to act on my dreams. Are you really willing to do that stuff? Or are you just like scared to do it? No, just claim it. If you claim it and you say, I can do this, you can do this, and I'm sure, like I said before too, see who you can find to have as a support system. Have a mentor, have somebody, like when it comes to, like, if you want to do something, have that person encourage you, or that you can call them and tell them when you're down or you've kind of not kept up what you're supposed to do, or you had a bad day, so that they can lift you up. That's what this is all about: lifting others up, claiming happiness, ways to kickstart your happy, and ways to just help others, and I love it. I just love it. And I just want to say a couple things, and then I would turn it back to you, Laura. I feel like, I do look forward to doing this stuff. I think this was just like meant for me and Lori to be able to like help others. And I think that's part of something that we've always wanted to do. We've always had fun, in helping others, but it helps us so much because it helps us refocus back on what we should be doing, because we all get so busy. And we want to ask you guys to help us just get out there and like support us in telling people about what we're doing here, because I think that it can be a help to them, and it can influence them and can help them. And Lori put something out, and I'm going to have her say it in a second, but she asked for some help in an area that we really could use help on, to help you guys. And with that, Laura, I'm going to send it back over to you, because it's about finding some people that, you know what I'm talking about, what you posted.
We would love to interview anybody of interest. You have something that's interesting to tell, you've accomplished something, you're working on something that, interesting. We would love to interview you. There's so many people with amazing stories out there. and one just as good as the other one. So if you know somebody, or you personally have something, just send us a message and we'll talk to you privately on possibly interviewing you on a Wednesday. It is really important. We feel like we have so much to share, but we want to bring out what you want to share,
Mhm.
because we all learn from every experience and everything that people do. So, and then also, like Debbie says, let's get the word out on us. We want to get to 1,000 people.
Yep.
And we feel our platform is very important. Again, we're not experts on this. We're learning just as much as you are, but we are so happy to share, like friends helping friends. I mean, that's what we're all about. And I'm so excited that Debbie and I thought of this, because I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know Debbie feels the same way. So with that, Debbie, you have anything else, or you could close us out for the weekend?
Sure. And I just want to say that I hope that everybody can spend some time with their family and friends and do something good and make a difference in others, because that's what we're here for. And again, thank you, Lori, for sharing that. We are excited. And with that, have a wonderful weekend and do an act of kindness, you know, because you know what? Ultimately, it makes your own person feel better. Okay. So with that, guys, have a fabulous weekend. Thank you. Love y'all.